Danny Murphy, ex-Liverpool player, of course, and Liverpool still very much a place in your heart. It must be getting to you that this season has not been the one that Klopp and Liverpool were hoping for. Far from it. But what about this? Your former teammate, Didi Hamann, has been speaking, and been speaking specifically about Jurgen Klopp's post-match behaviour. When Klopp was asked a question by a certain journalist, and for whatever reason, decided, no, I've suddenly remembered I'm not speaking to you, so I won't answer that question set to me by you. If someone else wants to ask it to me, I'll answer it. Didi Hamann thought, no, that's out of order.
Well, I know James from his time at the Echo when I was at Liverpool, and he's a very thorough and a well-respected journalist. And I've found it very strange and petty, because what you have to realise, or what he has to realise, that James Pearce and his family get bombarded since that incident with abusive messages, threats for no reason, because he didn't answer a question. You know, I think it was a perfectly good question to ask him. And he gets bombarded now with threats and abusive messages. And I think the least James deserves is an apology. And I also think it's not the first time this happens with Liverpool. Now, Liverpool is a club that's based on respect. I think if you could go back to the days with Shankly and Paisley, I think this club is based on respect. And I think there's a time now where somebody within the club has to say to him, this is Liverpool Football Club, you can't do this.
That was Didi Hamann. I mean, the question, I think, Danny, to generalise it, if you like, was more about the mentality of the players. Has that, it's not been what it should be, maybe, going into certain games. But Klopp didn't want to answer it, or certainly, more accurately, answer him. And that if somebody else asked the question, then he'd answer it.
Well, I think I'm right.
And somebody else did.
I think I'm right in saying it was mistaken identity. I think Klopp was annoyed at something that somebody wrote, but it wasn't him. I think that's come out since, which makes it even worse.
That muddies the water even more.
I know, but
here's the thing, should he not answer every question that's put to him?
Well, the thing is with Jurgen Klopp, he's intelligent enough and articulate enough and knowledgeable enough about football to be able to put to bed or control those conversations and win those battles far more easily than he thinks. He's loved by the supporters. He's still got loads in the bank for what he's achieved in the time he's been there. He's in a very commanding position. So to actually show any reporter that he's got under his skin, really, he's better than that. He doesn't need to fall into the trap of not speaking or answering someone's question because he wrote something a bit negative. It looks a bit petty. I think he's better.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't offend me. Fergie was the best at it, wasn't he? He was cancelling journalists left, right and centre for weeks on end and months on end, and then he'd let them back in when he decided. Bobby Robson was the same.
I mean, Hamann saying this isn't what Liverpool represents.
Well, there's a degree.
That's your club.
There's a degree of that, but I think Didi Hamann and Jurgen have got a bit going on. There's been to and fro. They've been to and fro in a little bit for a few months now, if not longer. So I don't really get involved in that. Whether it's genuine, I don't know.
There's a bit more to it.
Yeah, I personally think there's no need for it to get to that when he's in such a commanding position, Klopp. Even though he's angry and he's frustrated, I've sat there myself when journalists have asked stupid questions. I get it. It's frustrating. It's tedious.
Dreadful.
Well, no, it's not. That's my point. It's tedious, but it's not the end of the world, is it?
No, of course not.
Answer it, articulate it, use your knowledge to put him to bed. You know, I think, yeah, you're manager of Liverpool.
You should try being a journalist and see what comes back.
Well, that would be that.
The next 2 weeks for Klopp, how defining are they? Everton at home, Newcastle away, Real Madrid at home. 3 games that might define the remainder of the season.
Well, I think
Everton at home, Newcastle away, Real Madrid at home.
I think the Madrid one's the big one. I think the top 4's gone, I have to admit. I don't see them turning that round. I really can't see how they can click their fingers and become a dynamic winning team overnight again. They're gonna have ups and downs.
Do you think they're going to click their fingers and find any solace in Europe?
I think if you look back over time, Liverpool have done tremendously well in Europe at times when they haven't been.
Danny.
Pardon?
They're bad at the moment. They've not been this bad for a long time.
They were bad when they had to score a last-minute goal to get through against Olympiacos and finish 6th in the league or whatever it was that season. So, are they capable of beating Madrid over 2 games with Liverpool? The support? Yeah, they are. Madrid aren't playing well, mate. They're not. They're not
playing as bad as Liverpool.
Well, they're losing games. So
it'll be it'll be a race to the bottom to see who's the worst.
Actually, more immediately, who wins the Merseyside derby?
I think Liverpool will still edge it.
Yeah.
Because they're at home.
The Dyche effect.
Yeah, the Dyche effect.
I tell you,
it's become more interesting since the result.
The kind of irony of it is in this sort of reverse way. He's got 2 gimmies there because you know you're going to get a reaction against Arsenal.
100%.
And then you've got Liverpool, and that will take care of itself.
Yeah,
And Deitch will be, Marcus Aurelius or whatever it was, the leader of the Roman legions, calling out his troops.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.